Okay, so today I'm trying a new project. I made the double size of dough. So my bowl definitely was too small. But what I'm going to do is going to lay that out. First we need a little flour, probably quite a bit of flour, we'll see. So it wouldn't stick too much to the surface here. And then we're going to flip this upside down. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at that. Wow. That is a lot of dough. Alright. So what I want to do is flatten that out, if I can. Without sourdough you don't have to knead it, so that's the thing. But I want to flatten it out as much as I can, then make squares and make rolls, small rolls, so I can freeze them. That's the goal. So what you're trying to do is use a rolling pin, put a little bit of flour on, and try to flatten that. That's the first time I'm doing this. I'm not sure how this is going to work. Yeah, it's gonna work. I think I can do this. Okay, so I'm preparing a baking sheet. Little trick when you have permanent paper, parchment paper, you crumble it so it doesn't, so it's kind of flat, and then you put it on. In the baking sheet, it stays put. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to make squares out of this dough, different squares, and make small rolls. And I probably need a second baking sheet, but you can either use a pizza cutter or this here, I don't know what they're called. But what I want to do is first try one square, because I'm not sure how big I have to do this, but let me try this here. So the idea is now that I take that square, and then I saw this somewhere on Facebook, so we're just experimenting here. So when you have that square, you take this one, put it in the middle, each corner in the middle, like that, tuck it in, and then I'm gonna put it around like that and put it on the baking sheet. I think that's gonna work. About this size. Corner in, corner in. There we go. Second one. Let's try and see if this works with the pizza roller cutter. Yeah, I like the other one better. Alright, so we're gonna do this. Oh, this is a smaller one. Wow, I don't want that necessarily, huh? We want them to be all about the same size. Well, heck, next one. Alright, so I have the dough ready, and what we're gonna do is I realized that this is gonna grow about 3 times the size, so they'll be connected, but it doesn't matter. I can then break them apart. I've seen that a lot in Switzerland. We have that, where we have these rolls all connected in a circle, but I'm not making a circle, I just have it this way. So what we're gonna do is I use this instead of towels, because with towels it will just stick to it and it's easier to separate the foil. At least that's what I'm thinking. So we'll see what happens. We put this on, so it is somewhat covered. Then it goes in the fridge, and then we shall see how this looks tomorrow. So it is Monday morning. The dough has rested in the fridge for more than 24 hours. So I'm now going to make a little design on each of these loaves. Just a simple cross. Should do. I should have done that right when I took it out of the fridge, because it's already kind of soft. Then we're going to take one egg, beaten, and we're going to just put a little bit of these eggs on here to make it nice and brown. I'll be curious to see how this is going to go. Since usually I do the sour bread, I bake it in a Dutch oven, but here we're going to try something different. So you can see that the dough has risen. So no doubt these rolls will kind of stick together when they bake. They're going to get about 2 or 3 times bigger than they are now, but no problem. I will just break them apart and then freeze them. Whenever I do a full loaf, I have a problem that it's too big and it gets stale. I eat maybe 1 slice a day. So I'm hoping like this I can manage it more. We're going to put this in the oven for about probably 45 minutes, maybe a little less, at 425 degrees. All right, here we go. I took my little breads out of the oven and it did not rise as I thought it would. I guess because it was in the fridge, it already was at the size it would stay. But let's see how this is. I'm gonna break this one apart. Oh, nice and hot and steamy. Check it out. Let's try. Oh, it's still very hot. Let's try a bite. Nice and crispy. This is good. So now what I can do, I don't have a huge loaf of bread. I have small ones, so I can freeze some of them once they cool off and just keep 1 or 2 out to eat.